And it looked like the Indiana Fever front office is in serious trouble for revealing some major information. Guys, how come I'm not seeing no scouts, bro? Or the scouting department? Do they even have a scouting department? You mean to tell me, as I look through this thing right here, y'all done made all them... Well, y'all done made... Hold on. You lied to me.
Herb Simon believed he could create a championship team just by putting players together, but things haven't worked out that way. The team has been held back by broken promises, questionable signings, and no real winning culture. At the same time, Caitlin Clark, the clear star and face of the WNBA, is left watching the problems within the Fever organization grow bigger.
This is the team that has blown double-digit leads all season long. We just lost to the goddamn Washington Mystics. Terrible, man. That is a bad basketball team. They got two young, rising stars. They're rookies. We got dominated by Sonia Citron and Kiki Ariafin. They was just taking math class and sociology and chemistry 3 months ago. And they came out there and dominated us.
Fans spend top dollar just to see Caitlin Clark's talent on display, but the team around her isn't close to matching the level she plays at. The Caitlin Clark effect is real, drawing huge attention and excitement, yet the Fever's management under Simon's ownership continues to show clear signs of neglect and poor decision-making.
I mean, the bottom line, though, is Caitlin Clark is missing, and that is showing, and I think everybody is missing her, including myself. She has carved out this really big niche in the WNBA. A lot of fans have come to see her, and she unfortunately has just been plagued with injury after injury, and the Indiana Fever have had to try to tread water or keep afloat, and fans are trying not to lose hope until and if she returns, because Caitlin Clark is the reason that a lot of people, myself included, are just so drawn to the WNBA, so drawn to her play style. And I gotta say, I really feel for the rest of the...
Herb Simon has gone back to his usual ways, leaving the Indiana Fever to figure things out on their own while he focuses on profits. The arena sells out easily, but the team's success isn't being built the same way. It feels like the ownership is treating this like a game of Monopoly, thinking money alone can buy championships. In reality, the franchise is relying too heavily on Caitlin Clark to carry everything, but the truth is she can't do it all by herself.
Are in the process of building a $78 million practice facility. The Indiana Fever consistently draw over 16,000 fans to their home games. The Indiana Fever, amongst the top franchises in the league when it comes to merchandise sales. The Indiana Fever, now you know, marketing campaign. Kelly Krauskopf saying she wants to be the Apple of the WNBA. You would think, after all of these accolades, after all of the speculation, after all of the now you know, you'd think that we'd have a scouting department, right?
Herb Simon entered the Caitlin Clark era acting like success would come instantly, but instead he cut back on the very things needed to build a championship team. The Fever have been wasting huge opportunities, passing on chances to build a top-level scouting department, bring in elite coaches, and surround Caitlin with championship-level players. Instead, they've chosen a lazy approach, relying on quick fixes and hoping the roster somehow comes together on its own.
You lied to me. I think they merchandise sales was up 300%. Y'all done made all them millions off CC Effect. And y'all ain't hired no damn scouts. Caitlin's in deep trouble. Oh, it's looking real spooky. You mean to tell me y'all done made all the millions, bro, sold all them damn jerseys, and y'all do not have a scouting department? You mean to tell me? Hold on. Are you serious right?
Herb Simon was willing to spend money on practice facilities, but ignored the people and systems needed to find real talent. Some executives barely knew the players they were signing, acting like they were just hanging around outside agent meetings, hoping good decisions would somehow echo back to them. Clip 6. If you're enjoying this, make sure to subscribe. As for the Fever's scouting department, well, it barely exists. Drop off a resume there and you'd hear it echo, because there's no real system in place. The copy machine in accounting sounds busier than their scouting operation. Instead of building a real talent pipeline, they've reduced it to a suggestion box while relying on other teams' leftovers. This isn't just carelessness, it's organizational malpractice. Herb Simon has become a drag on the culture, and at this point, the WNBA should pay him hazard duty for letting his team's potential waste away. Meanwhile, Sophie Cunningham is still wondering why she's stuck on the bench when the Fever clearly need her veteran energy and leadership on the court.
This Lambert chick, man. You're always picking up these random, dog. Like they're going to Walmart. Hey, yo, can you play? All right, I got you. Go on a team. Like, come on, man. I'm sick of these players. We're at the point where you just need a body. I just hope she puts a better performance than Sims did, because Sims was god-awful. Sims looked like she never played basketball before. She was horrible. Somehow we have Turner on the team. I don't get it. But yeah, this new player, I looked her up. Averaged 6.8 in college. Not impressive, man. I think she's just a body.
Sophie gets starting minutes now and then, usually lost in the middle of confusing rotations that highlight the team's dysfunction. But the real disaster shows when Caitlin Clark gets injured, the whole system falls apart. She's the one who turned the Fever into a relevant franchise, brought in $78 million worth of attention, filled arenas, and made the WNBA must-watch TV. Yet the moment she's sidelined, everything collapses. Not because she isn't great or the fans aren't loyal, but because Herb Simon and his management team built something flashy, like a Ferrari engine, but forgot to add the basics: brakes, steering, or a transmission.
We lost by 1 point to them. The third quarter, they went on a 19-0 run. You hear me? Which put them up by 12. By the fourth quarter, they was up by 12 points. That's ridiculous. And then let me say this. What sense does it make for Stephanie Jigsaw White to take out Lexi and Sophie at the same time? You hear me? At the same time. Her rotations don't make no sense to me. And if it don't make sense to me, that allows me to think otherwise. She is fixing these games. The organization is in on it too as well. I'm sorry. At the end of the day, like I said, they just dragging us along to keep making money. Caitlin Clark, aka my precious CC, she ain't coming back this season.
When Caitlin went down with her groin injury, her third injury of the season, it exposed just how unprepared the Fever really are. The team had no backup plan. They went from looking like contenders to scrambling for 7-day contracts with players they hadn't even scouted. Kira Lambert was signed on one of those deals, and head coach Stephanie White admitted she barely knew who the player was. That's not roster management, that's fantasy football with real stakes. At the same time, proven veterans like Sophie Cunningham, a strong defender and clutch shooter, are stuck on the bench while the Fever blow leads in the fourth quarter. Instead of using her experience, the coaching staff is patching together random rotations and calling it development. And then there's Brianna Turner, who was signed in part to help with scouting and player evaluations. The problem? The Fever don't even have a real scouting department. So now they're leaning on an active player to do the job of a professional scout. That's like asking your Uber driver to perform surgery just because you didn't feel like hiring a doctor.
Think that we'd have some bodies that sole job, the sole purpose, their sole designation within this franchise is just to sit in a dark room watching hours and hours and hours of film of players overseas. You'd think at least that's what Apple would probably do, right? If Apple was running the Indiana Fever, they'd probably invest in something like that.
The Fever's front office is in such bad shape that when asked about their scouting process, Coach Stephanie White basically described something that sounds more like calling a basketball-loving cousin for advice. She mentioned watching film, checking clips, and talking to contacts. Translation: they're winging it because Herb Simon never invested in the infrastructure needed for a championship-level team. And here's the most damning part: Caitlin Clark is carrying the franchise so much that the team falls apart without her. The Fever are 10-9 when she's out, but 8-5 with her. Think about that. The most game-changing player in women's basketball history, someone who sells out arenas and breaks TV records, is being failed by an ownership group that treats roster building like a casual side project. Her injuries highlight everything wrong with Simon's hands-off approach. Caitlin never missed a single game in college or her rookie year. Her durability was legendary. Now, in just her second season, she's dealing with multiple injuries in different areas of her body. That points directly to problems with training staff, medical protocols, and player load management, things that only proper investment and real organizational care can fix.
It's all the above. It's seeing film, watching clips, talking to contacts and connections. Bree and especially has been super helpful in this. She's got a lot of contacts overseas who have seen Kyra, for example, play a lot overseas. Teammates that she's had that are over there that played with her.
Now, it was at that moment right there, everybody antennas went off. She said, Bree Turner actually discovered Kyra Lambert. Hold up, wait a minute. How the hell do Bree Turner discover a player? She's no scout. She's no recruiter. How the hell? She's supposed to be focusing on the season of bad she's playing. Y'all got Bree Turner scouting players?
When Caitlin Clark went down with her quad injury early in the season, the Fever should have had a plan in place. Instead, they scrambled. When she came back and quickly re-injured her groin, that should have been a clear warning about rushing players back too soon. Then, when she suffered another groin injury and missed the All-Star game in her own home arena, it should have been a loud wake-up call about the team's medical protocols, but it only got worse. The Fever started signing replacement players they knew almost nothing about. Odyssey Sims on a 7-day deal made some sense since she has WNBA experience. But then came Kira Lambert, who has never played in the league, signed to cover for season-ending injuries to Sydney Colson and Ari McDonald. Even the head coach admitted she didn't know much about her. This isn't just bad planning, it's organizational malpractice. You don't wait for your house to catch fire before installing smoke detectors. You don't wait for your star to get injured before building depth. And you definitely don't wait until players suffer season-ending injuries to start scouting their replacements.
That this Indiana Fever team, taking Caitlin Clark serious, taking the window that they have with Caitlin Clark as serious as they possibly can, you'd think that they would invest in some overseas scouting, right? Right. It seems as if the overseas scouting department, some YouTube highlights, some clips, and a couple phone calls with a person on the other end saying, trust me, bro, trust me. Hey, is she good? Trust me, bro, trust me, she's good. Oh, that's all I needed to see here. Is she good? Trust me, bro, trust me, she's good.
Sophie Cunningham is watching this mess unfold from a veteran's perspective. She's been part of winning cultures, she knows what it takes, and yet she's stuck in rotations that don't make use of her strengths. She's proven she can knock down clutch shots, guard multiple positions, and bring the kind of energy teams need in big moments. But instead of leaning on that, the Fever are experimenting with lineups featuring players they barely know. The coaching under Stephanie White has only made things worse. Fans are openly questioning her rotations, her lack of in-game adjustments, and her inability to get the most out of the roster. When you pull players who are playing well, give minutes to players who haven't earned them, and run offensive sets that leave Caitlin Clark just standing around, that's not strategy, it's improvisation. Defensively, the issues are just as glaring. The Fever often build solid leads, only to watch them disappear because of bad defensive rotations and poor adjustments. They keep losing winnable games simply because the staff can't figure out how to close. And when pressed about these failures, White tends to point to officiating instead of owning up to her own strategic mistakes.
So, Indiana Fever signs another strawberry shortcake Lambert. Her name is Kyra Lambert. She had previous experience playing at Greece. Last time she played college was 2001, so she's a little older. Where do we get these randoms from, man? Like, come on. 5'9", strawberry shortcake. So we get another shortcake. Sims and her are about the same height. there, they love some shorties, man. Like, we need to get some taller players, man. At least 5'10" and above.
Here's what should truly worry every Fever fan. This isn't just about this season. Caitlin Clark is still on her rookie contract, which means she's massively underpaid compared to the value she brings. This is the window when the team should be building around her, taking advantage of having a superstar at a discount and creating a championship-caliber roster. Instead, the Fever are wasting that chance because of organizational incompetence. The numbers make it obvious. When Clark plays, the Fever can compete with anyone. When she's out, they struggle against teams they should easily beat. That's not how you build a contender. That's total dependence on one player, taken to a dangerous extreme. And it's not like the path forward is a mystery. Look at the New York Liberty, who have a dedicated scouting coordinator and consistently find international players who contribute right away. Look at proven championship franchises that invest in infrastructure, top-tier medical staff, and real player development. The blueprint is already out there. Herb Simon just refuses to use it.
Stephanie White, you are supposed to be a defensive coach. We gave away almost 90 points to a team that is like 11th in the league in scoring. It's only like 13 teams. It ain't even that many teams. And they are at the bottom of the league in offense, and we let them come out there and do whatever they wanted offensively. Sonia Citron dominated our wing players. This is embarrassing. Kelsey Mitchell is not a clutch player. When the game is on the line, bro, she just gagged a wide open layup to cut the lead to 1. When the money is on the line in clutch time, you cannot rely on Kelsey Mitchell. This is embarrassing, man.
The most frustrating part is that the Fever actually have the resources to do things the right way. Herb Simon is worth over $5 billion and has shown he's willing to spend money, just not in the right places. He invests in flashy practice facilities and branding, but ignores the foundational pieces that actually build championships. Caitlin Clark deserves so much better. She deserves a front office that can spot talent before anyone else, a coaching staff that knows how to maximize every player's strengths, and medical and training teams that can keep her healthy and protect her long career. She deserves teammates who were chosen through smart evaluation, not last-minute panic signings, and the fans deserve better, too. They're paying premium ticket prices, buying merchandise, and pouring their emotions into this team, only to see ownership cut corners. Instead of building properly around a generational talent, the organization seems more focused on cashing in on the Caitlin Clark effect than creating a true championship contender.
Indiana Fever, get it done. The size we've been needing, a 6'7" tower, man. We need it because it's limited. Get her, put her in the center of the paint, man. Mentor her, whatever y'all need to do. I don't even know how to say her name, man. No disrespect to you, ma'am. But we need you over here in Indiana, man. We need a 6'7" tower because there's not a lot of y'all in the league, man. Fever, damn, man. I don't know how we gonna get it done. I don't know. But get it done, Indiana Fever. This is what we need.